Nation of Fitin10, welcome to day 17. And for those of you who have the free version of MyFitnessPal, I know that you cannot set your macro distribution to anything in between 5% increments, right? So if your protein's at 28% and your carbs are at, I don't know, I can't remember exactly. People have different macro distributions, but just take protein, for example. If it's at 28%, right, it's in between 25 and 30, and you can't set that 28% in MyFitnessPal, I want you to bump it up to 30, all right? And that will be close enough, and just try to get your macros, in and about there. You can be slightly under, and that would be the best thing. Don't set it lower. Okay, especially don't set your protein lower, because I want you to try to push your protein up. So I'd rather you see a slightly higher number than a slightly lower number. Okay, so just do that. Set it as close as you can. Okay, so again, if your protein's at 28%, set it to 30. If your carbs are at, I don't know, I'm trying to remember where certain people's carbs are at. I think some of you are at 27%, take it down to 25. Okay, something like that. Okay, so protein, move your protein up. All right, feedback. Let's do it right now. This person writes, so this is under name something specific you need help with. This person writes, easy saver adjuster carbs. For example, whenever I'm short on protein, I can add shrimp or Greek yogurt and easily balance it out. Same for fiber, veggies, and fats, like nuts. But finding quality carb for each meal seems to be a real challenge right now. I've only found oats, but it's weird to eat oats with baked or stir-fried food. Okay, so, all right, so there's a lot here. There's many examples of carbohydrates. Basically, any kind of fruit, virtually any kind of fruit. I mean, maybe with the exception of avocado, because that's more fat. That's gonna be carbohydrates. Any kind of tuber, so yam, potato, that type of thing, that's going to be pure carbohydrate. Rice, pure carbohydrate. Most vegetables, yes, they're fibrous, but there's going to be certain vegetables like peppers and carrots and eggplant and this type of thing. These are going to be a little bit higher in carbohydrates. Certain breads are okay. All right, that's basically pure carbohydrate. Quinoa is another great one. What else can I think of off the top of my head here? There are certain pastas, especially rice pasta. This would be totally fine. So just think, for the most part, fruits, vegetables, any of your starches, your tubers, like I mentioned, rice pasta, breads, this type of thing. Okay. With your stir fry, I mean, obviously rice would be a great go-to for this. Rice is literally pure carbohydrate, or just about, okay? Not pure by weight, but in terms of macronutrients, it's pretty much pure carbohydrate. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Remember, always consult your manual, because there is a non-exhaustive list in there. Number two, I'd have a couple hours feeling. So what does this say? I'd have, I guess maybe meant to say, I've had, I think probably is what they meant to say. I've had a couple of hours feeling really hungry every day, but haven't experienced any energy failure. Not sure if I should just bear with it or eat more. You're going to feel hungry. This is part of it. Part of it is feeling hungry. Now, there are ways to promote satiation. I did a video on this a little while ago, maybe 6 videos ago or something like that. So maybe you saw that already, because this question goes back to when? This goes back to, why can't I see it? Anyways, doesn't matter. But check out that video. I'll see if I can find it, and then maybe I'll post a note under this video about that one. So ways that you can feel more satiated. Obviously, one way to help with this is getting fiber and protein every meal. This is going to really help to make you feel full. But ultimately, when you're in a deficit, it's not uncommon for you to feel hungry. This whole idea of running out of energy, it's kind of like not really true, okay? Are you going to feel hungry? Yes. Are you going to run out of energy? No. I mean, this is an extreme example, of course. I just read a book called My Life as a Samurai, and it was about this gentleman who was a prisoner of war. He was stuck over in somewhere near Indonesia, and this is during World War II. 17 years old, joins the army. Literally days later, it becomes a prisoner of war and is in a concentration camp. Well, it was pretty much the same idea. He was in a prisoner of war camp, and they starved these people. They didn't feed them, they beat them, everything. It's like, 5,000 prisoners, and then at the end of the story, there's literally 50 people left over. So maybe a bit of an extreme example, but my point here being is these people lived off of, some of them died of malnutrition, but they literally lived off of maybe like 200 calories a day or something. Like it was crazy what they were, the way that they were treated and the way they had to live. So, I mean, this idea that you're going to be, under your maintenance by 100 calories or 200 calories per day or 300 calories per day, you're just not going to experience, energy failure, okay? You got plenty of energy on your body, especially if you have body fat, which, most of you are, probably have a little bit of extra, okay? As do most people. All right, so don't worry about that. When it comes to feelings of energy, though, this is where it's more brain, right? And this is where fats and protein really help to drive a lot of that dopamine production in the brain, or at least they help support the production of dopamine. So you're going to feel more alert. So this is a common thing when they go on a low carbohydrate diet, they tend to say, I feel like I have more energy. And that's just brain chemistry. That's not actually energy being produced. Okay, so don't worry about this, about not having enough, quote, energy to function. Is there anything you'd like me to cover in this week's video series? Can we have a session talking about some common fruits? I wasn't aware that fruits can be carb heavy until my fitness pal said so. Yes, of course, we could definitely do that. Virtually all fruits, to my knowledge, with the exception of avocado, are all the common fruits that we see here, at least in Western society. These are all just carbs, carbs. So yeah, I feel like I've mentioned that, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. All right, so okay, I'm at 8 minutes. Let me see what else somebody wrote here. All right, name something specific you need help with. Managing sore muscles. Two biggest things. I know I talked about this in another video, but I'll just mention it again just in case you happen to miss it. If you want to recover optimally, getting enough calories, and I know you guys are, most of you are in a deficit. All right, unless I've done something special for you. You're in a deficit. So you're going to be a little bit low in your energy, but ultimately getting enough calories and protein is going to be the biggest thing with recovery, in addition to sleep. Okay, getting quality sleep, all right, which is one reason why I don't want you drinking in this challenge. That's one reason I don't want you drinking alcohol, because it interferes with the quality of your sleep immensely. And this is going to help you the most with sore muscles. Now, this doesn't mean you won't get sore muscles. It just means that your recovery, if you get enough quality sleep and enough quality food, along with protein, you are going to recover faster, all right? So, a couple supplements that will help as well, glutamine and creatine and HMB. You can ask me about those when you see me in person. I have all of them, including a product that's got creatine and HMB in one. So maybe you want that. Videos are great, thank you. Plan for food intake when out with friends. Name something you need help with, you can improve upon. No, sorry. Name something you improve upon for the following week. Yeah, this is, all right. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about this tomorrow. Let's get to the message of the day on this day 17. And it goes like this. You are a recent reflection of your past, at least physically speaking. You're a recent reflection of your past. The reason I say this is because, ultimately, and I still have people that have been coming to my gym that for a long time that have never done the Fitin10, and they think this challenge is a transformation challenge. And while we do get some quote transformations and people do make a good physical change, it's not really a transformation challenge. There's a lot more I would do if I was making a transformation challenge. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm trying to give you guys tools here for you to be able to sustain post-challenge, right? Because you are, as my message just says, as my message says, you are just a recent reflection of your past, at least when it comes to who you are physically speaking, okay? Your body composition. So what you did to change your body, you need to upkeep. There is no such thing as a diet that you follow and then you stop and then you go back to your lifestyle that you were following before and then you maintain. No, your body is changing as a result of the things that you did. And if you change it back, you're going to revert. Okay, so it's just the way it is, right? And it goes like this for anything in life. Like even if you are, to a certain degree, even if you are a connoisseur or, if you learn a bunch of stuff in school and then you don't practice it at all, over time, it just seems to just sort of leave your mind, maybe not overnight, but slowly it just leaves your mind and you just forget virtually everything, right? So unless you practice it, if you practice it, then you upkeep it, right? All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so just remember that. Just remember that. Whatever you want, at least, physically speaking, okay, or I should say especially physically speaking, if you want to maintain it, you've got to maintain all the tools or all the things that you did to achieve it. You need to maintain those things ongoing, right? All right, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. See ya.